Back to my channel. I am KeyLovesGod. I help uplift, encourage, and inspire others on how to be made in His image and on how to be the best versions of yourselves. If you guys are new to my channel, welcome, and for those of you who are already subscribed, welcome back. You guys, in today's video, I'm going to be reacting to another one of Black Culture Unlock's videos called Juice Tried to Warn You. So, if you guys haven't already seen the one that they did before, it was called Get Out Tried to Warn You, and this one says Juice Tried to Warn You. So you guys, let's go ahead and get into this video and let's see what Juice tried to warn us about. Is the volume up?
It's a captivating and compelling movie that still resonates today. The film explores a range of universal themes, such as friendship, music, crime, betrayal, and ultimately, the tragic consequences of conflicts. Ernest R. Dickerson skillfully uses the characters of four high school boys, with particular emphasis on Tupac Shakur's character, Bishop, to pass on several resonating, powerful messages that evolve into a warning. Set in the early 90s, Juice portrays the struggles of the Black communities in America, an unfortunate era where they were grappling with the range of issues, from poverty to racism to police brutality and gang violence. But there's more to be discovered when analyzing the movie more closely. We can see that Juice tried to warn us about many prevalent problems in the world with a focus on the Black community. However, these problems highlighted in the movie are not exclusive to the 90s, but still recur and exist in the Black community today. First, Juice warned about the dangers of peer pressure and toxic masculinity. Next, it cautions against the glorification of violence and gangs. Additionally, the film highlights the intoxicative nature of power and its consequences. The movie begins in a typical 90s African American setting, with a rap song playing in the background. We see four high school boys, Steele, Bishop, Q, and Raheem, waking up in their Harlem homes, preparing for school. However, it is evident that they are not enthusiastic about school, as they are often late to wake up.
Boy, didn't I tell you to get your rap out? I'm up, Pop.
Bishop, the main antagonist, comes.
If you guys seen this movie, comment down below. This is literally like a hood classic. Like, I'm pretty sure everybody has seen this movie, and if you haven't, I highly recommend you watch it because it is so good. And if you guys have a favorite character that you related to, comment that character down below. Bishop, I used to love Bishop just because he was like, you know, the one who was the villain, and of course Omar Epps' character
Comes from a somewhat broken home. His father is traumatized, and we later discover that it's because of his experience in prison. Bishop is shown as a loving son who tries to take care of his father despite his own struggles. On the other hand, Q's mother is more practical and advises him to attend a good school to secure his future. As the day progresses, we learn of the misplaced priorities of the teenagers. Steele and Q leave for school without their books, but with their speakers and headphones. The next scene takes us to the first warning Juice warns us of, the dangers of peer pressure and the impact of toxic masculinity. We see it when Raheem pleads with his baby mama to take him back, but she declines, citing his crew and their activities as a reason for his irresponsibility. Raheem's toxic masculinity takes over, and he becomes aggressive and insults her for rejecting him. Q glorifies his toxic behavior, calling it real smooth. In another scene, Bishop is walking down his streets when he's bullied by the Rodimus gang in front of a store because of his father's homosexual post-prison experiences, but he's rescued by Q and Raheem. With his friends around, he feels more powerful and initiates a fight with a rival gang, calling it exciting and calling it fun.
That wasn't the shit. Crazy, man. Ain't no fun like that no while.
They are joined by the fourth crew member, Steele, who feels left out of the attention his friends receive from girls, and lies about having sex with a girl named Donna Bromwell.
So how was it, man? That was good. What do you think, man?
Skipping school, the crew visits a pool hallway to win money. However, things take a wrong turn when they are harassed by the police, and Steele is arrested. Q and Bishop are chased by the police, and decide to escape from a rooftop to another building. Amidst all the chaos, Q, who dreams of becoming a well-known DJ, comes across a poster for a DJ competition, and gets excited about the opportunity. His friends mock him, and downplay Q's aspirations. Despite the negativity from his crew, Q remains determined, and they head to the music store to pick up his audition tapes. While there, the crew works together to steal the tapes, which they enjoy, as they revel in their deviant gang activities. We are introduced to the criminal activities prevalent in the neighborhood, and we see another side of Bishop. When Q goes into a bar to get a cigarette for Raheem, he comes across an old friend, Blizzard, who has just been released from prison. Blizzard wants to rob the bar and asks Q to participate. Q refuses and heads out to tell the crew. Bishop is excited about the idea. However, the rest of the crew tries to convince Bishop of the dangers of Blizzard's actions. As the
Yeah, he was
Here's
like,
to a new feeling.
he's like, you want a part of this action? And he's like, nah, man, it's all you. And then he went out there to tell his crew. And Bishop is like, oh, like, we need to go in here and get a part of this. Like, what are you doing? Why are you telling him no? Like, the juice, what I love about it so much is that it is so relatable, like, to what you grow up around every single day. Like, especially as kids, you know. You will always be around groups of different people from different upbringings and different beliefs and backgrounds, and they can definitely influence your decisions if you're not careful. So I do think Juice did a great job of showing you the dangers of peer pressure. Like, just think if Q, which is Omar Epps' character, just think if Q listened to Bishop, who is Tupac's character, in wanting to join in on his friend who just got released from prison, who was about to rob that place. Like, if he was like, come on, no, we need to do this. This is how you know, we get our names out there. This is how you can become a famous MC. If he listened to him, his future would have just been like downhill. You know what I mean? They all could have got locked up and put in jail or something. Not these ads,
One where
y'all.
comfort follows your definition, and every move feels weightless. Here's to unlocking absolute confidence.
No
With
thanks.
Nutramigen LGG, help sleepless nights become more peaceful ones. Less crying, more cuddles today.
I've always breastfed.
As
So.
the story unfolds, we see the crew's differing attitudes towards danger and crime. Q is focused on pursuing his dreams. Raheem looks out for the crew. And Bishop is hungry for power and excitement, even if it means putting themselves in danger. Bringing us to the second warning that Juice gives us about the glorification of gun violence and gangs. Bishop romanticizes and glorifies the violent ending of a movie and praises the villain for taking his destiny into his own hands. He sees this act as a way of taking control of one's life and being the master of one's own fate. We see a news report of Blizzard's death during the robbery. Bishop's friends are shocked by the news and are grateful they hadn't been involved in it, but Bishop sees it differently. He goes on to rant about the weak status of their gang and tries to incite the group to exert more violence to prevent them from being harassed by the authorities and rival gangs. Bishop cites Blizzard's death as an example and argues that they need to have the juice, even if it means dying for it, as Blizzard did.
You gotta snatch some collars and let them motherfuckers know you there to take them out.
However, Q disagrees with Bishop and points out the possibility that they could have all been killed if they had assisted Blizzard.
If we was there, it'd be 5 dead niggas instead of 1.
The two get into a heated argument, which is eventually broken up by Raheem. As the movie progresses, we see Q talking to Raheem on his staircase, and Raheem informs him of an important meeting for the crew scheduled for the next morning. Q, however, puts his DJ dreams first and tells Raheem that he won't be able to make it as he has his DJ audition in the morning. Raheem understands, wishes him the best of luck, and asks him to meet after the audition. Q practices for his audition and goes for it the following day, where he gets shortlisted for the competition. He is thrilled with his victory and walks down the street happily to meet his friends in the courtyard. However, when he tells them of his triumph, Bishop changes the topic to a more dangerous one. They tell Q of their plans to rob the store owner, Keyless, on Saturday, the same night as his competition.
I always got the feeling that, like, Q, he just was like trying to keep a level head, and he was constantly surrounded by friends, like, you know, was a heavier set one's name, Steez or something. Steez was just kind of aloof, and he just wanted to he was just there for the ride, you know what I mean? And then you had Q, who literally wanted to pursue his dreams, and he kept a level head, like, you know, no, this isn't right. If we all were there, we all would have been gone, you know what I mean? Whereas Bishop, he was just like, and a lot of people still think this way. A lot of men in our society think this way, to where they feel like they have to have the juice. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with being the master of your own fate and stuff like that, but you should always, like, have discipline as well. And, you know, God is the ruler, and he makes all of our plans. And some people say, you know, we are gods. But I believe that God lives within us, and it's our job to listen to the leading of the Holy Spirit to tell us what we need to do. Whereas a lot of people in this life feel like they themselves are the gods. You know what I mean? And that's a whole different topic. I'm not here to try to change whatever you think. But I noticed that with Bishop, a lot of people can relate to his character because of that. And so therefore, a lot of his decisions are pretty much worldly. So he's ready to jump into gang violence. He's ready to go off and rob stores. And then Rakim was more so of the middle head, where he was like, he also wanted to pursue the dreams and stuff like that, but he also was down for whatever at the same time.
Although Q doesn't like the idea and wants no part in it, he is convinced by Raheem that no one will get shot, and it will be an easy operation. Bishop labels him scared for refusing.
This nigga's scared.
But he doesn't want to be seen as a scared little boy, so he gives in to the pressure and agrees to do it. Bishop is elated by their plans. The moment he gets the gun, he feels the surge of power coursing through his veins and wants to keep it. Bishop is consumed by the rush of power that comes with possessing a gun. He becomes fixated on the idea that he now has the power to decide who lives and dies. A dangerous delusion leading to the third warning. Power is intoxicating and always comes at a price. Q wins the first round of the competition, and they head out to carry out the robbery. The robbery quickly goes awry when Bishop, drunk on the juice, shoots Mr. Keyless without realizing what he's doing. The crew retreats to an abandoned building, where an argument breaks out over Bishop's actions.
What the fuck you have to shoot him for, man? You didn't have to shoot him.
Raheem and Bishop get into a fight over the gun, but Bishop refuses to let anyone take his power and shoots Raheem without a second thought for trying to take the gun away from him. He takes the stolen money from Raheem's pocket and runs off to evade the police. Now a cold-blooded murderer with 2 deaths on his hands, Bishop has now become so consumed by the power he feels from the gun that he no longer cares about his crew or anyone else.
Yeah.
Q and Steele soon realize that Bishop has gone downright maniacal and is willing to kill them if they don't do as he says. Bishop orders them to head back to the club for the competition and hides the gun. At the club, Q is devastated by the loss of his friend Raheem and is unable to focus on his competition. The police arrive, and Bishop informs Q nonchalantly that Raheem is dead before they are taken to the station for questioning. Bishop tries to pin the murder on Radames, but the reality dawns on Q that they are now seen as a gang. The aftermath of the shooting at the convenience store and Raheem's death leaves Steele in tears, Q on edge, and Bishop seemingly unfazed. The trio's relationship is forever altered as they try to navigate.
Yep.
Want to know what a Kings Island gold
Can we
cost
just
is?
shout out to the people who, all the actors in this
But
movie,
it's
like,
even more than all that.
they did a phenomenal
Try to
job.
navigate the aftermath of the violent incident. Bishop's descent into maniacal power becomes increasingly apparent as he clings to the idea that they can return to their former life. Q and Steele do their best to distance themselves from Bishop.
And you know what I thought was so messed up? The fact that when he went to that, they all went to the funeral, he is the one who actually shot Rakeem. But he's there hugging all over the mama and the sister and them, like trying to give them peace and comfort and money, like whatever you need. And I was like, it be your own people. I swear it be like that. The people who you consider your friends or your loved ones, you don't know, but they're doing some shady stuff behind your back, and they're the main people in your face, like, oh, whatever you need, whatever you need. And that's exactly what he did.
But his delusions of grandeur only escalate. In a vulnerable moment, Bishop admits to Q that he is crazy and doesn't care about anyone, not even himself. He is resigned to his current fate and believes he cannot be anything more than he is now. He belittles Q for not wanting violence, insisting that he can decide whether he lives or dies. The trio's dynamic is further complicated when Bishop boasts to Steele about the power he wields with his gun. Fast forward to the next scene. Q and Steele watch in horror as Bishop gets confronted by the Radames gang, but they choose to stay out of it, leaving Bishop to handle the situation by himself. Despite being outnumbered, Bishop refuses to back down. The sound of police sirens breaks up the altercation, and he follows the Radames gang leader to a subway corner. But Bishop's thirst for power and control drives him to commit yet another murder. As the movie nears its end, Q is forced to acquire a gun for protection, knowing that Bishop's violent and aggressive behavior may lead him to harm.
Yo, what's the matter with him?
Just as Q is about to confess Bishop's murderous deeds to his lover, he receives a call from Steele, who has been forced to the pool hall by Bishop. Bishop comes increasingly consumed by his power and shoots Steele, pinning his actions on Q. As the movie climaxes, Q finds himself in a dangerous game of cat and mouse with Bishop. Q knows that Bishop is responsible for Steele's shooting, but he also knows that no one else will believe him, so he must take matters into his own hands. He sets up a meeting with Bishop at midnight. As he walks towards the meeting point, Q realizes how easily he can be intoxicated by the power of his own gun, as he almost shoots a homeless man. But then he realizes it's the gun controlling him and throws it away.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Steele tells Q's lover, Yolanda, at the hospital the truth about Raheem's killer and Bishop's plan to frame Q.
He shot everybody. He's trying to frame Q.
Despite knowing Bishop will not hesitate to use his gun, Q tries to reason with Bishop, but it's met with hostility and violence. And Bishop shoots at Q, but he misses. Q is eventually shot in the arm and runs up to an elevator, with Bishop in hot pursuit shooting at him until he gets disarmed and loses his gun. In the movie's final scene, the fight continues up a rooftop, with Q desperately trying to get Bishop to stop fighting him. However, Bishop refuses and ends up tripping off the rooftop. Q tries to save him, but it's too late, and he falls to his death. The movie ends with a devastated Q leaving the rooftop, only to be stopped by a witness who tells him, "Yo, you got the juice now, man." Q knows that the pursuit of power and control can be a dangerous and deadly game. The tragic fate of Bishop in the movie Juice serves as a cautionary tale. Bishop's obsession with power and status ultimately led to his downfall, losing his friends and eventually his life. Bishop embraced gun violence and crime in his pursuit of power, glorifying it instead of condemning it. We can all see that Juice is a powerful film that resonates with the issues plaguing Black communities today. It serves as a reminder that glorifying gun violence and crime must stop. Only then can we build a better world and community. What are your thoughts on the movie? Are there any other lessons you would like to share? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the
Oh, well, you guys, I mean, definitely, I know he's just talking about this movie, but let's get it straight. It ain't just in the Black community, okay? This is in every community so far, where we've seen more people passing away, especially our younger children, due to gun violence and these mass shootings, okay? And let me just say, they haven't been all Black. A lot of these people ain't Black who's doing these mass shootings. So this just goes to show us that, like, this extends outside of the Black community as well. And then we go even further as to say, then who actually put the guns here? Where did these come from? Why were they just randomly, in our communities? I really want you to think about that. That's a deep and a loaded question. So I want you guys to definitely drop your comments down below. Always be respectful. Make sure you guys come to Black Culture Unlocked. Like this video. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel so you can be notified when I do post another video. Also, make sure to like my video so that you can share to other people about the dangers in society that is revealed through this movie Juice. And yeah, I love you guys so much. Stay prayed up, and always remember, don't let power get to your head. And remember who actually the head is of your life, which is our Jesus, Lord, Savior, Yeshua, Hamashiach, Elohim, the Most High God, however you want to refer to God. Source, power, that is the control of your life. That is the head of your life, okay? When you start to get into your own head and thinking that you're your own ruler of your own fate and all these kind of things, which you are to an extent, but not to the extent of where you control literally every single asset and facet of your life, you can end up like Bishop out here. God forbid. But I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in another video.